All right, well, we are back. I don't know if anyone is still out there watching, but as you can see, because we can't use the game extension mod, which if I've got to say, if there's one thing about the challenge rules that I sort of disagree with, it's the fact that the game extension mod is not allowed, and that just burned me because the game extension mod was what I used to do my autosaves. And as you can kind of tell here, we had to start all over again because I have not activated any sort of autosave mod in my gameplay because I am used to using the game extension mod, because quite honestly, the game extension mod does so much more than just allowing you to lift heavy equipment, and I think, or heavy items, and I believe that the reason why I believe the reason, and I completely admit that I don't know why I clicked that button. I was thinking that it said cancel, I think was what was in the back of my mind, and I clicked on restart, and I don't know why I did that. I earn my living by supporting Microsoft operating systems, and I know better than that, but I think I'm just, I guess I'm just a little bit silly today. But anyway, so anyway, I think the reason why the game extension mod was not allowed in the criteria or in the challenge itself is because of the fact that I guess they thought that we would lift things that were more than, obviously human strength was capable of lifting. That's the only thing that I could think of that someone might use the game extension mod. However, there are no stipulations for us using auto-loading trailers, which if I'm going to do any logging on this gameplay, on this challenge at all, obviously I'm going to use auto-loading trailers to accomplish that work. So we are starting all over because, again, I don't have an autosave mod configured. So yeah, so I've lost about 30 minutes of my time, but that's okay. At least we started over, because I was a little concerned that if autosave had kicked in, because I couldn't remember whether or not I had the mod active or not, then we might have to explain why we had a bit of a gap in our episodes there. So anyway, we're basically starting right over where we left off, and that's okay. We'll make do with what we're doing and be just fine while we do it. So there we go. So you guys all get to see this kind of twice. So yeah, so basically, if you are just joining the stream, I am selling and getting out from under some of this high maintenance cost things, because these things cost too much money to sort of maintain on a daily basis, and we have to be careful about what we spend and how we spend it and everything, because, well, we're playing in hard mode and money doesn't come easy for us. And so we're going to go back with this tractor here, and we're going to beef up the engine to the 3.5 version. Everything else we'll leave as default, and we will buy that. And we're going to have that delivered because we can, and the other thing is because it is actually quite slow. All right, deja vu, right? And hello, Milo's Play 23. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming by the channel here. And of course, as I had mentioned all before, this is a challenge map. This is a challenge that I have sort of answered to play this map. Several of us are playing. Farmer Klein is one individual who is playing, and if you're interested in his YouTube channel, you can find a link to that down below the video screen. But in any event, it is a special Goldcrest edit. It is a special edit of the Goldcrest Valley map, and it was edited and created by, or modified by, Mr. Jerry Hott. Jerry Hott is the same individual who created Mountain Valley Farm, which I am playing that series. So if you're interested in seeing that series, you can watch it on my channel. I think I'm about up to episode 10 or 11, and I essentially started in hard mode and had to cut down a whole bunch of trees to basically define the fields and all that kind of stuff. And also, as I have already sort of talked about, we do have a small supply of seeds, which we will fill up from here. And we've also got a small supply of liquid fertilizer as well. But we've already done some of our fertilization. ID Gaming, hello, thanks for stopping by the channel. I appreciate you coming by. Hope you're all doing just fine. Alright, so we are out from under the more costly tractors like the little Sammy and the JCB, and of course I will miss that JCB because there's a reason why the JCB is called Fast Track, is because obviously it is fast. Hello CW Hints, appreciate you coming by. Thanks for saying hello in the chat stream. So if any of you guys were here just a few minutes ago, I completely did something very, very stupid. I got a prompt on my screen that from Microsoft Windows telling me it wanted to reboot my system, and like a knucklehead, I sort of clicked on it thinking it was the word cancel, and it was actually the word restart. And even though I support Microsoft for a living, earn a very good living from IT support, I clicked it. I'm tired, I will admit, and my system rebooted. So the stream restarted my game. My game wasn't saved because I've already explained that, but so that is sort of the deal with that. So anyway, we are playing a very special map. It's a special modified version of Goldcrest Valley is the word that I'm looking for. And it is a challenge in the way that we are playing it, in the sense that we have to play in hard mode, we have to play with at 15 times speed. We have to basically play with Seasons mod, thankfully, because I would not probably would not be playing this map if I wasn't able to play with the Seasons mod. And our seasons are set for 6 game days per season, which is what I'm used to playing. I'm just not used to playing at 15x speed, and that is what we must play with on for the challenge to be effective and everything. And so that is fine. So we're sort of getting used to that. And last night's the first episode, or the first stream, kind of got off to a little bit of a rocky start because I'm just not used to the fast pace, I guess. I'm a little more of a kind of a slow, I'm not a slow guy, but I like taking it easy, and I like not having to worry about if it takes me a couple of minutes to look through the different tractor specs and all that kind of stuff. You know, we can use modded vehicles just fine. We just have to make sure that the costs are reasonable. And so, you know, the purchase price as well as the daily maintenance costs for these tractors have to be reasonable. And of course, this pack, this Ford pack here, was part of the Giants mod contest, so it's acceptable to use. I know that Farmer Klein is also he also traded in his JCB and his Sammy for the Ford tractor as well. And as I had mentioned before, I clicked the wrong button and clicked restart and instead of clicking cancel. I said that I promise I wasn't going to copy every single move that Farmer Klein does on his series. Of course, he's taking a completely different approach. I'm doing traditional farming. We're going to be planting wheat, barley, canola at least from the first year, and Farmer Klein has taken the approach of going the grass option. So he has planted grass in all of his fields, and he will be wrapping silage bells. So I wish him luck with that endeavor, and who knows, that may be the right way to go. I think it's an interesting concept for sure. Well, hello, old guy farmer. Were your ears burning, sir? So everyone in the stream, I would like to introduce you to Old Guy Farmer. So Old Guy Farmer is the man that I've been talking about. He is the developer, or the modder who modified the Goldcrest Valley edit for this challenge. So we appreciate the work that he has done here. He is also the mastermind behind the wonderful Mountain Valley Farm that many of us are playing. I'm playing it, I'm playing the hard version, as well as Mr. Mark DuPont, and actually it was Mr. Mark DuPont who turned me on to Mountain Valley Farm. I watched his series and I'm like, this is such a cool map. So as soon as I wrapped up Lawfolds, we did 2 years on Lawfolds, I went right into Mountain Valley Farm, and it has been a joy to play. We didn't do quite as much logging as Mark DuPont did, but we certainly did enough of it to where that we got blisters on our hands from working the levers in the Scorpion King, because that's how I chose to basically do the logging on that particular map. But anyway, yeah, I was talking about you, Mr. Ott. I will tell you that I did something really stupid just a few minutes ago. We were maybe 20 minutes into the stream, and I got a message prompt from Mr. Microsoft saying we're about to reboot your system, and I thought it said cancel, and instead I clicked on it and it was restart. And of course, without the game extension mod, I don't have a backup running, an automated backup to back up the map progress, and so ended up having to start all over again. So some folks are getting to watch some of this stuff twice. Of course, hopefully they're enjoying it a little bit better the second time than perhaps the first time around. But anyway, let's see. Battery H1862, hello, welcome to the stream. And he says, sadly, I'm too busy to compete in this challenge. However, it's going to be fun to watch, and I agree, and that's one of the reasons why I'm sort of hitting it kind of hard in trying to get a few of the episodes done, because I'm not exactly sure when Farmer Klein started on it. I know that he is up to like episode 4, and I may have a little bit of travel to do in about 3 weeks time, where I'm going to be out on the West Coast for a few days, and I will not be around. And so obviously part of the challenge is that we need to basically get this done. We need to get this job done. We've got to play 3 years with this map, with seasons set at 6 game days per season, and we need to do this and get everything sold at the end of the 3 years before November 1st. And you all might be thinking, wow, November 1st is so far away, because my gosh, it's so hot outside that we know that we've got so many more. The dog days of summer are not even here yet. And so, but you know, when you're a busy guy like I can be sometimes, and like I'm sure every one of you all are as well, before you know it, you know, Labor Day is going to be here, and then before you know that, it's going to be October time frame. And then there you go. Mr. Battery says that November 1st isn't very far away for certain. So, and then it'll be time to go and get that Thanksgiving Day turkey if you're here in the U.S. anyways. And then Christmas is right around the corner. So you get my point. Yeah, old guy farmer. I used to use the manual autosave mod, but then when the game extension mod came out, and it became such a wonderful mod to use, because it also has a very cool auto hide function, auto HUD hide function in it, and I basically went away from everything. I went away from the autosave mod, I went away from the HUD hider mod, and I basically was able to do one-stop shopping, and that was very cool to be able to do that. So I will have to search out my autosave mod and get that going again here, since we can't use the game extension mod. So anyway, I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day, regardless of where you are in the world. I hope everything is going smooth for you. Now, of course, we can, part of the rules do allow us to use hired help. We can use one hired worker at a time, which I think is actually quite cool. And of course, after I've been working on Mountain Valley Farm for a few episodes, you know, we are doing things, or I am doing things on that map towards somewhat of a small scale. And so occasionally I hire a worker kind of one at a time. So that's kind of cool to have that sort of that guideline, or that rule in place, because sometimes I feel like hiring, you know, 3 or 4 folks and have a huge farm with Courseplay running and doing pretty much everything. But it's also cool to get back and, you know, do the work yourself, because after all, that's, you know, that's what the game is for, right? So Battery says he's got 150 hours of video capture to do by mid-October, and I may be knocking at folks' door looking for a multiplayer segment for a charity stream I'm doing in late October. Yeah, it all, you know, this time of year for me is very busy. Summer is always very busy. So Old Guy Farmer says, sorry, had to ban it because of the ability to lift things that would never happen in reality. And you know, I fully understand that, Jerry, and I might have been just a little bit upset after I realized that I had lost 30 minutes of invested time. I guess that, you know, the way I look at it is, and of course I'm not challenging your decision in any way, so please don't understand. I'm just having conversation here, but I guess that you know, because we can use, or at least from what I understand, we can use auto-loading trailers and such. I guess, you know, I don't see the sort of the difference between lifting up something with superhuman strength. Which, by the way, you know, I eat my Wheaties every morning, so and chase it down with a strong black cup of coffee. So maybe I am superhuman in strength, but anyway, it's okay. We will adapt. We will prevail, and it's all just in the fun of things. The way I see it, it's the opportunity to get to play 30 more minutes of Farm Sim and get to do things a couple of different times, and that's okay with me. So, oops. Alright, I am button challenged. I've got these buttons mapped to my G27 steering wheel, and sometimes I get them mixed up. Anyway, we are making some progress. So I am, you know, I'm kind of doing things. There's many different ways that we could approach this challenge, and of course, you know, folks may be burning the midnight oil. Although I did burn the midnight oil last night in the first series, or the first episode. We could certainly do that, I guess, each and every time. I am sort of still trying to have a little bit of realism in the simple fact that I sort of know that, you know, it's not possible for a farmer, for an individual, for a human to basically go too many days straight without some good night's sleep and everything. And I don't know if I will win. I'm going to give it my best effort to certainly do it, but that was the route that I wanted to stick with traditional farming. We do have some sheep, because the sheep have actually been very good to us on law folds, and we learned on law folds that sheep are a good investment because they require very little attention. You need to make sure they have water, and we can feed them hay or grass. And basically, Jerry Ott did give us about 8 bales of hay on the map, so we've got that. And I sort of thought, okay, well, the seasons mod allows the sheep to produce wool in the spring and summer, so let's get them, and let's get them going pretty quick. So that's what we did. And he says, the only reason I allowed auto loaders is because some people could manual load if their life counted on it. And I like a lot of the features in Game Extension, but leaves door open for small scale sheep. And I agree. I mean, it's okay. It's not a problem. And he forgot to ban autoloaders, so my bad. Okay, well, I don't, I did so much forestry in on your Mountain Valley Farm map, or at least I did a lot of it off camera, because a lot of my viewers don't really tend to like a lot of forestry. I may do some of it. Obviously, I'm still button challenged. I may do some of it on the map, and folks will just have to endure it, because obviously we've got to live stream everything, which I also think is a brilliant idea. So thanks for putting that in, because I was actually looking, I used to what. Still a button challenge, but anyway, I was actually wanting to get back into live streaming. I had been live streaming quite a bit, up to maybe 2 to 3 times a week, before life got busy right before vacation. And then we went away for vacation for a week and a half, and I got my internal batteries charged, and had a great time up in Rocky Mountain National Park, and the weather was cool, and we saw some moose, and so I was looking for an opportunity to kind of get back into doing some live streaming, because this is what I like about live streaming. Of course, I love the game. I very much love the game, but I also enjoy interacting with people. And I don't know about you folks, but I have met so many cool people through my YouTube, and also through sites like Facebook, like the Old Guy Gaming, Farmer Gaming Group, through websites like the Three Dudes Gaming Network, like PCSG, which, by the way, folks, if you're looking for good communities, good mature communities, and communities that aren't going to basically bash you upside the head for asking a question, definitely check out both the Three Dudes Gaming Network and also PCSG, and you'll find links to both of those websites underneath the video, and you'll find links to those websites in all of my videos. I'm a moderator and admin at both of those sites, PCSG as well as the Three Dudes Gaming Network, and I would invite you to go over and check those out and say hello. All right, so let's see. I'm going to kind of let you guys chat amongst yourselves there, just because I need to kind of focus on what I'm doing here. So let's change this around, and let's put some barley on this field. And of course, I have no idea what the demand is going to be within the community. I'm hopeful that the people of, I think, what is it called, Maple, is it Maplefield or Maple, something like that. I hope that they are the type of people that want to buy local and buy from local farmers and everything, which, by the way, check out Eustace Farmer's latest video. He did a sort of a real-life video where he sort of focused on a small community farm that he buys a lot of his local produce and everything from. And it was a really cool video because he sort of showcased some of the equipment that they use, as well as he showcased some of the vegetables that he was buying, and man, that stuff looked really good. And I love buying local. I try to buy local every chance that I get. Living here in Colorado, our ability to buy local fruit and veg and stuff like that is somewhat limited, because we have this thing called winter that does sort of sink its teeth into the area. But we do try. There's a couple of farmers markets that we try to go to, and excuse me, and also our one of our major grocery store chains here in Colorado, which is sort of connected with Kroger. If you guys are familiar with the Kroger stores, they do try to buy local Colorado every chance that they get, and so we try to buy that stuff. And it's just, it's a great opportunity when you can actually buy local and you keep all your money and everything local to the economies and everything, and that's always a good thing. So we've got winter is why Battery lives in Louisiana. I lived in Louisiana for a little while. I grew up in the Lone Star State of Texas, and if you guys are familiar with my channel, you know that I've talked about that a lot. And I have lived in Colorado for coming up on 19 years this October. I moved out here 19 years ago, and this is possibly, I moved here to escape the torturous 40-something days of 100+ degrees summer heat that we had the last summer before I moved here to Colorado, and I absolutely love it from that perspective. And of course, my wife and I just went on vacation to Estes Park, Colorado, over the 4th of July week, and of course the highs up there were like in the mid-70s, which was actually quite nice considering that it was over 90 degrees today here in Denver, and it just makes for a really miserable thing. But I live north of Lake Charles, Battery. That's where I lived for a couple of years. It seems like about 100 years ago, but it was probably about 26 or 28 years ago. All right, let me read up on some of these messages here. Old Guy Farmer says, I'm like you, I'm going with a mixed approach and am including animals in my part of the challenge. Yeah, you know, obviously pigs are a little bit of a money pit, and I did put in the manure placeable. Obviously, I've been talking to Farmer Klein a lot, and so hopefully that's not too big of a violation there. Obviously it's not free manure, but I've been using that for the greenhouses to get the default in-game greenhouses running. And but yeah, I like doing cows. I don't know if we'll do if I'll do dairy here on this map, or just right now stick with sheep. But I think that this challenge has the opportunity to allow us to, after we sort of do things in maybe the first few episodes of year one, or certainly even the first year, as we can adapt and maybe do different things in future years. Maybe do something a little bit different, bring in a different type of animal in year two, maybe bring in cows in year two, something like that. I don't really know. We'll just kind of see how things go. But I will tell you, and I was talking about this earlier, Jerry, is that before I started playing and I've been playing with the Seasons mod since January. I was one of the folks like the Reefy 1952 and others who had access to the Seasons mod, and yourself, from what I understand. And so I used to always play at 1x speed because that's kind of the way I did things. I'm kind of a slower pace kind of person. I'm not all about speeding through jobs and stuff. I like to do things kind of proper, and it's one of the reasons why I chose to cultivate after we plowed and fertilized, was because it's kind of the way I understand that it's done in the real world. But one of the things that I was hang on just a second. Anyway, I got a text message. I am on call this week. Anyway, one of the things that I had been doing was playing at 1x speed, and of course the Seasons folks had recommended 16 days per season and at least 5x speed. And I tried for a little while. I tried 15x speed, and I just realized that it was a little bit too fast-paced for me, because I kind of like to contemplate some of my decisions and look at tractor specs and think about, okay, well, is this tipper the right tipper and everything. So obviously this is a little bit taking me a little bit out of my comfort zone from what I'm used to, but I think that's good. I think that's, you know, that's always good in life, is to sort of put yourself into a situation where you have to think about different things, or you have to think about things differently, I should say. And I think that this challenge is certainly gonna make me potentially a little bit, maybe a little bit better at virtual farming, and that's one of the things that I'm excited about. And of course, let's see, this is episode number 3, so 69 more episodes to go, right? CW Hintz says he is in Iowa. All right. I have only been to your state one time, and that was by way of Des Moines and the airport. It's a funny story. Many years ago, probably about 10 years ago, my wife and I went to go visit her family in Belgium. My wife is in Belgium, or is from Belgium. She's lived in the UK for about half of her life before she moved to the US, and she's been here for about 16 years. And so we went to go to Belgium. We flew American Airlines from Denver to Chicago, and then from Chicago to Brussels. And then on the way back, it was during the summertime, and it was one of those hot summer days, and we landed at O'Hare from Brussels, and there was some thunderstorms in the area, and so they put us on our American flight from Chicago to Denver, and really before we could get pushed back and taxi out to the active runway, they decided to shut the airport down while these thunderstorms passed by. And so we were like, I don't know, 6 or 7 in line to take off. And so, but we were basically held up for over an hour. And of course, again, I will say again, it was one of those hot Chicago days where the temperature was, 95 degrees, and the humidity and everything that Chicago has. So thankfully, the pilot was running the engines the entire time to keep the AC going. And so the pilot came on the intercom system, and he says, well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is the airport is going to reopen soon. We're number 6 or number 7 in line to take off. He says, but the bad news is we don't have enough jet fuel to make it to Denver. So he says we have 2 choices. We can either go back to the gate and refuel, and of course we would go back into the back of the queue, and of course this was around the time when all of the, like around 5 o'clock or so, when all the international flights were getting ready to depart. So it would have been a very long queue to get out of there. Or the captain says, or we can make a stopover someplace between here and Denver and refuel, and that should only delay us by about 30 minutes or so. And so that was the option he took, thankfully. And so we landed in Des Moines. Didn't even bother getting off. They taxied us up to a gate, refueled the airplane, and threw some ice on the airplane, I think, because I think we had pretty much depleted all the water and all the ice and stuff that was on the aircraft just sitting on the ground at O'Hare. And so that is the one and only time that I have been to your great state of Iowa. All right, so we are going to continue with our little seeding process, because why not? So we are going to switch and go to canola next. And again, sort of my thought process is Mark DuPont convinced me last night to sell my combine, which was a very nervous decision for me to make. But he's like, the maintenance costs are going to kill you on that piece of equipment, considering that you're not going to need it for, however long that it will take before our crops get ready. So I'm like, okay, I'll take your advice and sell it. And so I sort of thought, well, what I may end up doing, what might be the smart thing to do, is to basically go with all the same type of, or the same type of crop that requires the same header, at least for year one, because this way, if we purchase a combine or if we rent a combine or whatever, we can just basically purchase or rent the same type of header and basically do wheat, barley, canola, and then maybe if we got time and if I want to be adventurous and buy another field, then perhaps we will do soybeans, and that way we kind of keep everything with one type of header. And that's actually the strategy that I have been using with Mountain Valley Farm, is we basically are planting all the same, so wheat, barley, canola, and soybean, and that way we only have to buy one type of header. Hello Sam, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming by and saying hello. We are on Mr. Jerry Ott's old Farmer Guy map challenge, if you will. All the information is down below the video if you're interested in participating. There's still plenty of time. The deadline is to get it all done is November 1st, but as we've sort of been talking about, November will be here before you know it, and it will. And I just kind of decided to do all this work myself instead of paying hired workers to do it, or a hired worker, because we can only hire one worker at a time. And we're a very small operation, and of course we need to make all of our pennies count. And I'm telling you what, I am squeezing every cent and trying to get 2 pennies out of every single one. If I could figure out how to get more, I would. CW Hint says, nice, only been to the Des Moines airport once when I went into the Marine Corps. Like Iowa, we have very hilly land to the east and flat and rolling hills to the west. Well, CW Hintz, thank you so much for your service in the Corps. I appreciate that. Have I had the chance to see all the changes that you've made to Mountain Valley Farm? I am just playing the hard version, the one that Mark did his Let's Play on. I was kind of looking for a reason to kind of take things a bit slow with my farming, and I kind of thought that would be the great opportunity to play that map and go through the process of taking out the trees and defining the fields and stuff. That was actually a pretty cool process. It reminded me very much of the hard working map that we had in Farm Sim 15. Tyler Beckley, welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by, my friend. Great stream. Glad to see people playing the challenge. That's awesome. Folks, if you are watching and if you are not a subscriber, I would appreciate if you'd click that subscribe button and also maybe the like button as well. I know that's 2 different buttons, but I trust that you guys can multitask and make that happen. And also, I just want to say that if you would like to enter for a chance to win your very own copy of the Platinum Giants Farm Sim 17 Platinum Expansion DLC Pack, there's a link down, or there's information down below the video, and all I require is that you be a subscriber of my YouTube channel, and you can register to win that. And I'm going to tell you what the code word of the day is here in just a moment, as soon as I make this turn and pull up my spreadsheet here, because I'm keeping track of all this. The code word of the day is spring, S-P-R-I-N-G. So the code word is spring, S-P-R-I-N-G, and there's complete information on how you register. This is my contest, so this is not, this is completely independent of the challenge itself. The challenge obviously is also going to award the lucky winner who competes in this challenge with the opportunity to win the same DLC expansion pack. But I made a commitment several months ago when I decided to monetize my YouTube channel, and I told this story this morning and again last night, that the only reason why I opted to monetize my YouTube channel was because of the ability that it allows me in scheduling videos in advance. That is very important to me because I like to be able to upload my videos in advance and be able to say, I want this video to air on Friday at 6 a.m. in the morning without me having to go in and switch it from private to public. And so monetizing the channel allows me to do that. Well, because this is not my full-time job, I basically have a full-time job already. And so any little bit of money that I make from YouTube advertising, I want to give back to the community in the form of giveaways and other things like that. So if you would like to enter a chance, information is down below. So basically you can increase your chances by watching each and every episode that I do. And as we've talked, there will be 72 episodes unless I get sick or something like that and can't finish it, but there will be 72 episodes of this wonderful series on me playing this map, and you can register pending that you hear the code word for each video. And I'm sorry that I'm sort of making it where you've got to kind of watch the video, but hey, that helps the whole cause out, right? So we're all kind of in this together. I'm fronting the money that Google and YouTube are sort of paying me through the advertising, and then awarding up to three people with the DLC pack. So it's kind of like think of it as a co-op, I guess. But anyway, so click that subscribe button, I would appreciate it, and also consider liking as well. That helps me out tremendously. It gives me great motivation to continue to make some content and stuff for you all to watch. Okay, well that is our 3 fields that are seeded. We've got 1 canola, 1 barley, and 1 wheat. And so we don't need that anymore, so we can drive this back over. And it is coming up on 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So we will go ahead and park this back under the shed here. This is where Jerry had set it up for us. And we will do that. And if I can remember where I placed our... Hello, Jack123. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. If I can remember where I put the sprayer, we will go ahead and take advantage of these last few hours of daylight. You know, as they say, you got to make hay while the sun's shining. Well, we need to continue to work because obviously I cannot back and talk at the same time. But anyway, we need to work. We have to work from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. At the minimum. Of course, if we want to work longer, we can. But again, sort of as I was saying earlier, I like to have the more realistic approach to things, and you know, a guy can pull maybe 1 or 2 all-nighters. You know, I watch Deadliest Catch. I love that show, and those guys, those crab fishermen, you know, they stay up for a few days at a time, I guess, and I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And anyway, so we're not going to pull a lot of late-nighters like that, or too many times. I pulled an all-nighter last night, but that was sort of because I sort of forgot how to work the season's time to skip the night feature, and it got past midnight and I couldn't do it anymore. So alright, so let me just pull up the map really quick, because one of these fields is already up to max there. So field 15 is already done. So we just need to do field number 14 and 12. So let's see, where is 14? That is That is 15. So that field's already done, right? Yeah, 15, so 14 and 12. So our barley and our wheat crops we need to go ahead and fertilize on out. And also, folks, by the way, before I forget about it, I would just like to say that if any of you are interested in checking out additional YouTube channels that produce better content than even I produce, I mean, these guys are remarkable, like Mark DuPont, Eustace Farmer, etc. You'll find the links to all of my friends down below. And of course, there's also a link to Mr. Jerry Otts, or the Old Guy Farmer. His Facebook page is also down below, as well as some of the folks that are part of that group. And I would encourage you to check out their YouTube pages. They put out really good quality, good, wholesome, clean content and everything. When I get a chance, go around to the different farms and all the sell points as they have all been changed. Let me know what you think. Okay, I'll do that. I will do that. So also, in addition to the things that we can obviously do as part of this challenge, is there are gold nuggets on this map. Obviously, this is a Goldcrest Valley edit, so Jerry left the gold nuggets. I'm assuming that maybe some of them got moved around, so but it's been so long ago since I've played this map that I have honestly forgotten where all the gold nuggets are. But we can obviously do that. We can go around and collect gold nuggets and get that $1 million, and most likely I will do that. I'm just gonna right now just sort of pick up the gold nuggets as I see them, and then when we get a little bit of maybe a break in the action, then we'll go around and collect more of the gold nuggets. Obviously, we need to make sure that we don't wait till winter time, because obviously there could be snow in the ground. Hopefully there will be snow in the ground. This is supposedly, you know, Colorado, Pacific Northwest sort of region where this map is somewhat depicting. So hopefully we will get a bit of snow. And but yeah, it's an excellent challenge. I take my hat off to you, Jerry, for coming up with it. Brilliant idea, brilliant concept, and I know Farmer Klein is enjoying his time on the map, and he's the only one that I've actually actively seen his YouTube stuff. I will search out yours, and I think a lot of the folks that have interacted with me, both last night and again this morning I streamed, have also been quite interested in the map. Of course, we're getting a lot of questions, and I know Farmer Klein is getting the questions as well from console folks, and of course I'm assuming that this map is not going to go to console, because obviously Seasons mod is not on console, so that's not going to work out for them. But for you folks that are on PC, the PC version, you should take advantage of the challenge, because who knows, you might win your own copy of the DLC. Plus, it's an experience. You're gonna learn. You know, it may take you out of your comfort level, as it has done with me, and I think that's a good thing. And I think I will settle into a groove that will sort of work out for myself. And I think that, you know, the next year will be a little bit easier, and maybe the third year might be a little easier. Who knows? Maybe it won't be. Maybe they'll just be equally as hard. But I will tell you that, you know, every minute that I play this game, I have fun, because otherwise, if it's no longer fun for me, I don't enjoy playing it, and I simply won't play it, you know. But this has been a fun experience, and we're 3 episodes in. We still have a long ways to go, obviously, but and a short time to get there, as they say in Smokey and the Bandit, for those of you that are old enough to Remember that classic movie? All right, CW Hints, thanks for stopping by. Make supper for the kids. Get those kids fed. And if you're not doing anything later this evening, probably sometime after 7 o'clock Mountain Time, I may actually stream again. So we'll see. I'd like to try to get a little bit of a buffer because, as I said, I am also still doing the Mountain Valley Farm series, and I'm trying to put out a little bit of flight sim content and also some truck sim stuff as well. I'm kind of trying to diversify the channel just a little bit, and so I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of irons in the fire, as they say. But I may have to travel in a couple of weeks, and I will be out of town for a couple of days out on the West Coast, and kind of out of pocket. So I'm trying to, you know, get a little bit of a buffer so I don't feel so stressed, because I basically don't want to reach a point where, like, I'm in October and I understand that I've got to live stream every single day to be able to get the job done. I don't want it to get to that point. I'd rather have just a little bit of wiggle room. I think wiggle room is obviously always a good idea for us. And then we'll just head right on over here and go ahead and spray this field. Let's just quickly check and make sure that that brought that up, and it did. Now, for those of you that watch my channel, you probably know that I'll probably have to turn on the colorblind mode, because even though I'm not colorblind, I struggle with trying to see the difference between the colors on the Giants color swatch thing. So it's a little easier to see that in the colorblind mode. It's actually a great feature. I'm glad Giants put that in there, because I'm sure it helps people that really truly are colorblind. Oh, wrong gear. And Old Guy Farmer says he's planning on having all 3 animal types. All right, cool. Well, I think I will at least consider 2. I will at least consider. Oh, there's a gold nugget behind that rock over there. I will at least consider cows. Don't know about pigs. I think that might just be a bit of a money pit situation for me, but who knows? I might reach a point to where that I feel that I need the additional, either the additional challenge or just the additional, you know, responsibilities of keeping those things going, keeping the pigs fed and all that kind of stuff. Anyone in the channel, have any of you guys, were any of you guys a part of the early access or the early adopter, the crowdfunding function of Cattle and Crops? And I'm curious what you guys think about it so far. I was so looking forward to Cattle and Crops, and I think that when they sort of missed their deadline in March, I was 100% understanding of that. I work in IT. I understand that things sort of take on a sort of a mind of their own sometimes, and you have to put in delays and stuff like that. But when I saw the product that they released to us, and I saw the very, very poor controller support that was built into it, I spent about 5 minutes with it, and my hair, I could feel my hair turning gray, and I could feel my hair falling out because I was kind of getting stressed with it. And I'm like, you know, I'm not going to play with keyboard and mouse. I've got to have my G27. I spent a lot of money for it. It's what I want to use. I'm all about the immersion when I play a simulation-based game, and so hopefully they will fix that at a later update. But until that's fixed, until I can actually configure my G27 to work in the same way that I can with FarmSim 17, and it actually saves those settings, I don't want to know anything about it. So yeah, I agree. It's not where we think it should be, and it has a very long ways to go. And I'm not even sure if, based on what I've seen, and I know that they plan to release the full version of the game, the full-blown game, in the fall or late 2017 time frame. And I honestly don't think that I don't think they'll meet that deadline, to be honest. Hello, La Farmer 2017. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you coming by. Check out the information down below if you're new to the channel. I am running a contest where I'm giving away the opportunity to win up to there'll be 3 winners of the FarmSim 17 Platinum Expansion Pack that will be coming out in November of this year. The challenge ends at the end of October, 1st of November. I will be doing the drawing, and my giveaway is independent of the challenge itself, but I will be doing the drawing on November the 6th. So I will announce the winners and everything before Giants actually release the DLC, and there's complete information on how you can enter the contest or the giveaway down below the video. And I will announce the word of the day one more time. This will be the last time that I will say the word of the day for this episode. Each episode has a different word of the day, so if you watch all of my episodes, and there'll be 72 of them when it's all said and done, if you watch all of my episodes, you could enter up to 72 times. The word of the day is spring, as in the season spring, S-P-R-I-N-G. So good luck, folks. All the information that you need to follow is down below the video to register for the Grizzly Bear Sims giveaway. My only requirement is that you please click the subscribe button and be an active subscriber of the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. And watch some of my videos. I've got some courseplay tutorials. I'm gearing up to do some flight sim stuff. I'm an old flight simmer. I'm an old-timey flight simmer. I started out flight simming on the Commodore 64, so that tells you how long I've been playing video games. That was back in the mid-'80s. If you're not familiar with the Commodore 64, but of course I also enjoy truck sim and some of that stuff as well. If it's got the name simulator in the title, and if it actually is truly a simulation-based game. I know a lot of companies like to throw that word simulator out there when it really doesn't have a lot to do with simulation at all. But if it is somewhat simulates something in the real world, I pretty much will play it and pretty much enjoy it. So take advantage of some of those other videos there. Check out my Mountain Valley Farm series. I think I'm on episode number 10 or 11. That map is also by Jerry Ott, or Old Guy Farmer, in the chat there. And hello, Scooter. Welcome to the stream. He says the Commodore 64 was much fun back in the day. It was. It really, really was. I used that thing. I had 2 floppy drives, and of course I had the old cassette data deck thing, and of course I was glad to get away from that and get to the floppy drives, because the cassette deck was so slow in comparison. And I had 2 floppy drives, I had a printer, and I used that thing until I used my Commodore 64 until probably like 1990 or 1991. It did the job, and it did the job quite well. All right, well, it is 8:55, 8:56 in the evening, which tells me that we can pretty much, once we get our tractor back to the farm and get it parked underneath the the barn here, we can call this episode a wrap because it'll be, yep, it's 9 o'clock. And so we've worked from roughly 6 a.m. I think it was a few minutes after 6 when we got going until 9 o'clock. So we've met our requirements for the challenge for the third episode. And I just want to say, since old guy farmer is on the chat, I just want to thank you, Jerry, for creating, not only for creating this map and this challenge, but also for all that you do. You know, our modding community has not been treated very well. I'm going to climb up on my soapbox for just a few minutes, folks. Our modding community has not been treated very well in the last few months. And as a matter of fact, we run the risk of losing good quality modders, guys like Bullet Bill that created Coldwell Park Farm, other Oxygen David that has created wonderful titles, GTX modding that's created such wonderful mods that we're using on PC, or we have hosted on PCSG. Stevie, and I know Stevie's name is somewhat of a household name with a lot of you folks. When I say we, I don't mean, I'm not calling out anybody in particular on the stream itself, but I'm saying we as a community, as users, have not treated our modding community very well. And it's caused a lot of these guys to basically say, why am I doing this? And we need to thank these guys. We need to take the opportunity, and one of the things that you can do is go out to the Giants Mod Hub, and anytime you download a mod that you like very much, rate that mod a 5. Give it 5 stars. Go ahead and do that. It's worth it. And then when you interact with these guys on Facebook or on PCSG or any other forums out there, take the opportunity to say thank you. So thank you, Jerry, for creating this map, creating this challenge, and doing all that you do for the community. It's very much appreciated, not only by myself, but from everyone else. And I know I speak for all of my viewers when I say, from the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you for doing what we do. And we really, really, truly appreciate it. So let me grab these eggs here because I think I'm going to want the missus to make me some fried eggs there. So thank you all so much for watching this stream. I really, really do appreciate it. Please check back, subscribe, so you'll get notifications when I go live again. I'm going to go ahead and start saving this because I would not want this to crash out again on me. And then just go ahead and end to this stream. We'll save and go ahead and into this screen here to meet the requirements for the challenge. But just thank you all so much for watching, and I may try to stream again later this evening, probably in about maybe 3 hours time or so. So thank you all for watching again. Take good care of yourselves. God bless you all. And don't forget, thank a modder, because without the modders, this game would have been quite boring after about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month or so. So it's the modders that keep these types of games very, very interesting to us. So thank you again. God bless you all. Take care, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.